My name's Lindsay Stanley. I'm an Australian. I've been making wine for 32, 34 years, somewhere there. My biggest challenge in my winemaking career is probably when I met up with a crazy American who had a desire to move to Australia and make more wine than he could drink. And that was Jim Lambert here. I'm sure Jim's got a story about his ambitions as how and why he wanted to come to Australia.
My name's Jim Lambert. I fell in love with Australia a long time ago and moved there about 18 months ago, quit my job in America. Originally, I bought a vineyard in 2003, and how I met up with Lindsay was I wanted somebody to make some wine for me to drink. He did make an absolutely fantastic wine, the first time, called the Family Tree.
It's all about wine. Wine is just a fascinating product. I've been in love with it since I fell into it, but I fell into it because I came out of the army after the Vietnam conflict, and I needed a job, and I went to a large winery and started sweeping the floor. So I got dragged up through the industry, and I had the pleasure to work with some of the finest winemakers in Australia, and I had to work out for myself what wine was all about, and wine is just so much a food that I become fascinated with it. Yeah, and we're just, even here this evening, we're introducing some new wines, 4 new releases that are actually all experimental. Experimental wines, they're wines that have been made in a different style to almost any other wine that I've ever made, or any other winemaker that I know of has made a wine that way. So we're continually doing something different, and we think that is a great thing in the future. There's a sameness about so many cars, there's a sameness about so many restaurants, there's a sameness about so much clothing. And I believe that people are looking for a new adventure all the time, and that's what we're trying to create, is every time we make a wine, just create a new adventure.
We are located in what I call God's country. It's the Barossa Valley in South Australia. Now, Australia is the driest continent on Earth, believe it or not, and South Australia is the driest state and the driest continent on Earth. And so water is very precious. But the Barossa Valley is surrounded by hills. It's about 5 miles wide by about 8 miles long, so it's actually very small, and it's pretty much all planted in grape vines today. So the wine you get from the Barossa Valley is actually very special. There'll never really be any more made than there is today, and we're blessed with having a microclimate that's it gets very hot, but we also get a little bit of rain. That is the reason that originally it was settled in the mid-1800s. We also have some of the oldest vines left on Earth.
Another concept to think about from where we're from this little unique Barossa Valley, is that Australia only produces 5% of the world's wine, which is, everyone thinks Australia's a big producer. It's not. So we only produce 5% of the world's wine. Barossa Valley, where we're from, we only produce 5% of Australia's wine. So 5% of 5% is a drop in the ocean. And so we don't produce a lot of wine, but we produce very good wine. We've been trying to drink it all ourselves, and we've just run out of puff, and we need some friends.
Well, we're blessed in the Barossa Valley in that we have a lot of different soil types, and we have a beautiful climate. We have very long growing season and a lot of sunshine, and so what happens is that we have to add nothing to our wines and no sugar. It's actually against the law to add any sugar to a wine in Australia, whereas if you come to America or you come to take wines from Europe, they'll actually add sugar to the wine, but that's against the law in Australia. So when you drink a wine from Australia that was made in Australia, it's all natural. We're a little bit unique in that we today have our own vineyard where we grow our own grapes. We have 10 different varieties, And on our own vineyard, you might call that estate grown. They get the best of everything. We have, I'll come back to that in just a moment, but we also have, we're somewhat unique in that we don't want to be a big company. It's really two families coming together. We import the wine ourselves. We don't have any middlemen involved, and so we try to make high quality wine and at affordable prices to share with people that love wine.